Are you someone who has all of these amazing ideas, but maybe haven't figured out how to make them cohesive? Or maybe you're someone who has tons of offers that you want to put out, but aren't quite sure that they're going to serve the same customer. I was actually watching Chicago PD earlier today because my mom raves about it. Actually, Chicago Med, my bad. Chicago Med. And as I was watching it, I was like, this is so similar in style to the Law and Order series that I love, but still unique, fresh, different, and really pulled me in. And as I was thinking about that, I told myself, I feel like there's a lesson to be learned here. I feel like there's something to be learned from the genius that is Dick Wolf and the way that he's gone about this that may resonate with you guys. So I sat down, jotted down some notes, really took some time to think about it, his story, and wanted to take some time now and share that with you all. So, hi everybody, Shanice Upshur. Welcome back to the challenge where we talk about turning your passions, your skills, and your talents into profitable businesses. And today we're diving into the genius of one of the most prolific TV series creators out there, and that is Dick Wolf, the mastermind behind both the Law and Order franchise and the Chicago series. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I've completely switched and, talking only about TV now. This is really going to be more so about finding the power of your niche, developing your brand, and leaning in to create something that is amazing and impacts the world. I'm breaking this down into 3 actionable steps for you guys so you can apply it to your own journey, and I hope that you enjoy. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is making sure that you find your niche. What does that look like? So, step 1 is all about finding your niche. So, think of your niche as your compass, right? It gives you direction, it gives you clarity, it gives you purpose. And when you think about the series, right, Law and Order and Dick Wolf, like he didn't try to create every single type of TV show out there. He really focused on one thing and was producing these amazing dramas. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think he's gone out and tried to go and do like comedies and like documentaries, right? He found his niche and he found the thing that he was good at and honed in on it. So for him, he really honed on stories about law enforcement, justice, and that human condition. So, excuse me, when you think about it, here's the key. Your niche should align with your unique skills, passions, and the problems you're most excited to solve. When you find your niche, you stop chasing trends, you stop being blown around every which way, and it allows you to then lean in and create something timeless. So for you, I want you to think about, what are the things that you're naturally good at, right? We've talked about passions and skills before, but what are the things that you're naturally good at? What lights you up? What excites you to get up and lean into and create every day? And then from there, identify a problem that you can solve. Look for a gap in the market or an area that you can fill. Think about where you can really lean into your unique skill sets. And then the last thing, we've talked about this before, is taking that time to test your ideas. So, we see him doing it again and again and again, where he's coming up with these amazing ideas, putting them out there, seeing how people respond, and taking that feedback and adjusting accordingly. So, when you think about your niche, it's not about limiting yourself, right? There's so many people that say, oh, if I find my niche, I won't be able to do these things over here. It's not about limiting, right? So, you have to kind of change your mindset about it. It's more about being able to focus your energy on where it matters the most and where you have the most impact. And when you do it, you're going to attract the right audience. You're going to build that foundation for long time success. And remember that clarity creates confidence, and confidence attracts opportunity. So I know that I'm hoping at least that you guys all have a favorite, Dick Wolf TV show, whether it is, in the Law and Order franchise or the Chicago franchise. But think about that. Think about how he has taken that time and really honed in, and we see it across the broad spectrum of the items that he puts out, where we do see kind of this similar storyline. They tend to hone in on the same type of people, and they seem to attract, the same audience and a similar audience. You keep coming back for more and more and more of what he has delivered. So for me personally, when I think about, finding your niche, I can look at all of these amazing things that he's done and look at it as an example of what it looks like for us to do the same thing as business owners. So the second thing within that is taking the time to go ahead and build a brand that resonates. So once you found your niche, it's time to build a brand that resonates. And when you think about what he's done in the entertainment world, Dick Wolf Show are more than just entertainment, right? They're actually a promise. We're seeing a promise of kind of the same type of like gripping stories, these familiar characters, and that iconic dun dun, right? So when you think about it, right, your brand is really going to be your identity. It's how people perceive you, what they expect from you, and why they trust you. And here is something to keep in mind: your brand should be clear, consistent, and compelling. I don't think anybody has turned on, an episode of, Law and Order and expected to get a comedy, or we've put on, Chicago PD, for example, and thought that we were going to get, like a documentary, for example. We know what we're going to get. We have an idea in our mind of the type of items that he likes to produce, and we see that consistency across um, everything that he puts out. So for you guys, when you're thinking about how can you build a brand that resonates, the three things that I really want to call out is make sure that you define your message. What do you stand for? What transformation are you putting out there? Who is your audience? Make sure that that's something that you not only know in your own mind, but that you can articulate it and that you are able to share it with others through, sound bites, through your messaging. Just make sure that you take the time to be really clear in that. And then on the creating consistency, you want to make sure across the board, there's things that people can look at and see, and they know, like, oh, that's something that Shanice did, or oh, that's something that whoever did, right? So use the same, whether that's, using tones, visuals, messaging, having that consistency across all the different platforms really helps to have it pop in your audience's mind. Hey, this is work done by insert your name, right? So when you think of his signature style, instantly recognizable. I think you can probably put on any kind of episode, even if it's in the middle of a scene, and people be like, oh, is that Law and Order? Is that Chicago Fire? Right? So making sure that you have that helps really draw in your audience. And then the last piece of that I would say is find ways to connect emotionally with people, right? They don't just buy products or services. They buy feelings, they buy stories, they buy solutions. And the more that you can make your audience feel seen and understood, the better it goes for your brand. So, you hear people throwing out words like being authentic and things along that aspect, but you really want to have a personal connection where you can with individuals. And, you probably even heard that old adage, right? People buy from people. People buy from people. People buy from people that they like. Make sure that you're having moments where you create connection with others so that they can see who you are as a person. So just to leave you with one last thing on this particular topic, building a brand takes time, right? It's not going to be something that happens overnight, but it's definitely worth the effort. So a strong brand, it doesn't just attract attention or an audience, it helps to create a community rather. And when your audience feels connected to a brand, they'll follow you, they'll support you, and they'll advocate for you. So the more that you can create this community and this feeling through building your brand, the better you'll see those long-term results, even if it does take a little bit longer. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about on this is this whole idea of leaning into your passion. So now that you found your niche, you've built your brand, it's time for step number 3. So number 3 is all about leaning into your passion with all your might, right? And this is where the magic happens. And when you think about it, Dick Wolf, he didn't just dabble in TV, he dominated it. He created, he innovated, he expanded, and he really leaned into his passion for storytelling and built this amazing empire. Me and my mom, we were actually talking the other day, and like, for example, Law and Order SVU, I think it's on like episode number like 21, 22, I don't know, somewhere in the 20s, maybe even the 30s by now. But when you think about it, that is the epitome of leaning into something and really honing your craft and dominating it. And at least for me, maybe you guys feel different, but I feel like, it's not a situation where after season 2 it turned crappy, or after season 3 it turned crappy. It's still amazing and fantastic, even all of these seasons out. So that's what we want the people that we're interacting with. No matter how many times you do a webinar, or you go out and you do a class, or you present a coach, or you go do a keynote speech, you want them to have that same level of excitement then as the individuals might have the first or the second time around. You want to keep improving. You want to keep leaning. You want to keep pushing yourself to be better and better and better. And honestly, the world doesn't need half hearted efforts, right? There's enough of them out there. Make sure you're really using this leaning into your passion idea to stand apart. It needs your full, authentic self in these moments. Create with passion, purpose, and persistence. So, what does that look like? What are some things that you can do to make that happen? So, the first thing that I would say for sure is commit fully. Don't hold back. Put your heart and soul into what it is that you're doing. So, committing fully, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but for me, I think of it in terms of, don't leave anything on the table. Don't put it all out there, right? The more that you can give everything that you have to these ideas, to your passions, the quicker that you'll see them come to fruition, the more that it will resonate with people as well when they feel and understand that you're giving them all that you have, when you're putting your full self into it. When I was growing up, my parents used to tell us, do your work as unto the Lord and not unto men. And that basically the whole premise of that was we don't accept 90% at the house, we don't accept 80%. My parents expected 100% every single time. And that is the way that all of us should be looking to serve our customers and serve our clients. The second thing around that is innovate and expand. So once you've mastered one thing, look for ways to deepen and broaden your impact, just like what we saw with all of these spin-offs and these connected universes. So, we have the original Law and Order, and then we had Criminal Intent and SVU, and I saw that Stabler just got his own series. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but you see these come out, and again, they're interconnected, and it's really deepening that work instead of saying like, oh, I did this, now I'm going to go, make a movie for Disney, and then I'm going to come over here and do this other thing. So he really stayed in his niche. He really stayed focused and just made it better and better and better time after time after time. And then the last thing with that is stay resilient. Challenges will come, but your passion will keep you going. And remember, persistence beats resistance every single time. So there will be moments when it's like, oh my goodness, I feel like I've leaned, I feel like I've given 100%, but I'm still not getting back 100%. Just be patient. Just keep going, keep pushing. You never know when that breakthrough is right there on the other side of that last push. So I just want to leave you guys with this. When you lean into your passion, you inspire others to do the same. So make sure that you're inspiring the people around you. Your energy becomes contagious and your work becomes a source of joy and impact. So don't be afraid to go all in. The world is waiting for only what you can create. I can't imagine anybody else doing what Dick Wolf has done, right? So be yourself and allow others to experience all of the gifts and all of the amazingness that you have to offer. So, my final words on this topic, I could talk about Law and Order all day long, but I won't. Y'all probably get tired of hearing me talk about that. But when you think about it, right, when you really stop to think about all of the things that he's created, he's really shown us like what is possible when you find your niche, build a brand, and lean into it with everything you've got. He has created for us shows that not only entertain, but inspire and connect millions of people around the world. And I think for all of us out there on these entrepreneurial journeys, that is something that we would love to have people say about us, right? We are able to entertain, keep people engaged, but we also inspire and connect millions of people in the world. So whether that's one person, whether that's two people, I challenge you to go out there and inspire and connect those around you. Start small. You can do the same, whether you're starting a business, launching a YouTube channel, or chasing a dream. Again, the world needs what only you can create. So go out there, be amazing, go create something new, and share this with a friend, a family, a colleague who you think would benefit from this. And I will see you guys all next week.